Greg Hamlin here from Blues Guitar Unleashed. Welcome. Thanks for joining me today. In today's video, we're going to talk about chords and blues comping. Now, comping is a little bit of a jazzy kind of way of saying we're playing rhythm, okay? But we're not, typically in like a blues shuffle or even a slow blues, we're not going to be strumming, right? We don't do that, okay? If we're playing in a band setting, we're playing behind another soloist, we're playing behind a singer, right? Something is going on, and our job is to kind of what we call comp, C-O-M-P, right, behind that person, or play rhythm, right, is I guess the more, generic term. But if you study jazz at all, we call it comping, and I think it applies very well to blues music as well. So what I want to do is I want to take a very basic chord. It's this basic A7 bar chord, right? This is sort of, the fundamental chord that really everything comes from. But you don't have to be stuck just doing that, okay? There's a whole lot of really cool stuff that can come from this without, learning all kinds. You don't have to learn 37,000 chords. You really just have to learn one and learn some cool stuff to do with it. So I'm going to show you the one and the cool stuff to do with it, all right? So, first of all, when we comp, we never play the whole, a big, all of the 6 strings. You'll hear me talk about not playing in the basement. This is very, very true here. A lot of great blues guitar players pretty much never use the 5th and the 6th string when it comes to comping or playing rhythm behind some other soloist. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this big chord and I'm going to just drop the 6th and the 5th string. And that gives me the 5th fret on the 4th string, the 6th fret on the 3rd string, and I've got the 5th fret on the 2nd string. Now, I could also get the 5th fret on the 1st string, and I might use it sometimes. And you're going to notice that I like the sound of a pluck, right? Now, I could strum it with my pick like this, and that gives a certain sound. But if I pluck it, it's almost more like a piano player playing it. This is just something that I like. If you have records, like old records, and you hear like a horn section, and the horn section is kind of playing in the background behind the singer, they'll do these little stabs, pop, pop, right? That's how I like it to sound. If a piano player plays and he's going to play a chord, plop, plop, right? It's just that little stab, right? That sounds good. We're used to that sound. Now, do I have to do that on a guitar? No, but I like the sound of it. So what you're going to notice is that with my picking hand, I'm going to use my pick for the 4th string, my middle finger for the 3rd string, my ring finger for the 2nd string. And that allows me to do a couple of different things. First of all, it allows me to get that quick stab. I can hit it, I can kill it just as quickly, just by taking my right hand and putting it back on the strings. So I can really get in and out quickly, right? This is the Muhammad Ali of blues rhythm. We want to get in and get back out. Sting like a bee, right? So think of it like that. We are not here to do this, right? That is not blues comping, particularly in a shuffle and even with a slow blues. You might strike a chord and hold it, okay? If you want things to ring out, but you're not going ever to be doing anything like that. It's just not gonna happen. So we have these 3 notes, and you're like, well, what on earth am I supposed to do with 3 notes? Well, there's a lot of cool stuff that you can do with 3 notes. Now, first of all, I'm not gonna play them very often. I'm gonna do something like a 1, 2, 3, 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 3, a 4, a 1, a 2, a 3, right? That's just a little what I call the comping pattern. And it's a great little rhythmic pattern. I'll play it a little bit slower. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And notice that when I'm not playing, everything relaxes. Like, this is so easy to do this way. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. What if I want to change some things around? Okay, well, there's some very simple stuff I can do. Keep in mind that this lowest note is my flatted 7th. This is my 3rd. This is my 5th. okay? So if you know even the slightest amount of theory, you know that a major scale goes whole step, half step, whole step, whole step, half step. So you know that there's a built-in half step between the third and the fourth, and there's a built-in half step between the seventh and the eighth. Okay, well, we're gonna modify that slightly, okay, because this is a dominant seventh chord. The half steps are gonna happen in a slightly different place. They're still gonna be between the 3 and the 4, but the other one's gonna be between the 6th and the flatted 7. Okay, everything else has a whole step. So for example, let's say that instead of playing the flatted 7th here, I want to play the root. It's up a whole step. I got a finger for that. Let's say if instead of the 5th here, I want to add my pinky and get the 6th. Sure, that works. What if I want to have the 6th, but still use the flatted 7th? Okay, we commonly call that a 13. Okay, what if I want to get the root here and the 3rd, and instead of the 6th, I want the flat 7th here? Okay, I can do that. Again, it's a half step, remember, from the 6th to the flatted 7th. And if for some reason, you know, your fingering doesn't work out, just change the fingers. Okay, try not to, this is the single thing I see a lot of students get hung up with, is fingers are not notes. Okay, fingers are just fingers. If you can see, oh, I need this note and this note and this note, well then play those notes. Okay, if you're hung up on the fact that this has to be my 3rd finger, or for some reason I can't play this note, that's going to be problematic. Imagine the frets like lighting up. Okay, there used to be these fret light guitars. I don't know if they still exist. And you could like turn a knob and say like A major, and it would light up all the A majors all around the fretboard. Okay, you need to know your guitar like that, right? So if I have my basic, or what if I want to take my 3rd and bring it down a whole step to a 9th? Okay, well, I'm gonna have to change my fingering around. Still the flatted 7, the 9th, and now the 5th. Okay, so from this one basic shape, which is an A7, I can make an A9, which by the way, I can slide up a whole step, and now it's an A6, and now it's back. And I can play old Huey Lewis tunes like that, but it's also great for like for a blues shuffle. Right, works really good for that. I have, again, my 7th, my 13th, a different version of a 7th, right? A 6th, 13 again. And of course, I could add that top string, and I could get the 13 and a 9 up there. So all of these are perfectly reasonable chords. I can even do that little move right there, which steps away from the chord a fair amount, but it sounds good. The Funk 49 move, right? Which I'm just literally going from the A7, there's my root, there's my 4th, there's the 6th. Okay, none of those are really much part of the chord anymore. It's really like going to the 4 chord. But again, it's there. If I want to, and I can just, I'm choosing what fingers I need at any moment based on just what sound I want, and it truly has absolutely nothing to do with, I'll say, what's convenient. Like, I'm not really thinking about it. I mean, I'm using whatever finger will go to where I want it to go. I'm not thinking, oh, this finger has to move. I'm thinking this note has to move, and I think that's a really important concept. And then, of course, when it comes to the 4 chord, well, here I am. And I got my D9 or my D6. It's the same chords, right? So nothing changes. Same with E. Now, of course, I could learn everything, you know, based off of a different shape. And you can do that. You can take like this right here, right? It doesn't shift very well. Let's take it with the D. Right? So I got the flatted 7th, 3rd, and 5th. Flat 7, 3rd, and 5th. Okay, so I can do that. You can shift that if you want, but I'm gonna get the same notes. So for now, let's not get carried away with it, right? Again, use what's easy. And so take a basic again, a basic thing. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then change it up. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see I just made little tiny moves in there. Little tiny little moves. Is anybody going to notice but you? Maybe, maybe not. But it's a nice sound and it gives you something to do and it gives a little bit of motion. And that's really all we need. And it's a really nice sound. So I hope that this kind of opens your eyes a little bit to how easy it can be to, kind of mess with your rhythm. You don't have to take, right? First of all, you don't have to do that. You don't want to do that. You should never do that. You want to keep it small, okay? Keep your rhythm small. Think of yourself as like a small horn section, right? You have 3 voices in a small horn section. So you have 3 voices, 1, 2, 3. Right? And that is how you want to approach your blues rhythm. It'll make all the difference. All the difference. Okay? So I'll wrap it up there. Play around with that chord. It's a very simple chord shape. Right? You can add the 6th, you can add the 7th, you can add the root with 5th, 6th, 7th, flatted 7th, I should say, the 9th, right? All of these different options are right here in front of you without having to get all carried away. And it just translates to the 4 and to the 5. So play around with it for yourself. See if you can find some kind of cool stuff. The jam track that I used on my way in is from something I have called 5x5 blues jam tracks. I'll leave a link near this video in case that's useful to you. Obviously, any blues in A will do the job. I just happen to have, I'm always using the same 5 keys, 5 styles. This is just the basic. I use these jam tracks all the time. I wanted to never have to go look up a jam track. So I made, 5 keys, 5 basic sounds. It's perfect. It's just what I always go to. So that's what I used. Again, I'll leave a link near this video in case that's useful to you. I know jam tracks can be found just about anywhere, but in case they're useful, I'll leave them. And I'll leave links, of course, to free stuff. You can sign up for my email list and all that kind of thing. So I'll leave it all near this video for you. And I hope you dig it and try this out for yourself a little bit today. And I'll see you next time. Take care. I'm Griff Hamlin from Blues Guitar Unleashed, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.